Good morning, guys. I hope we're all sparkly. Today we're going to talk about why we prefer testosterone cypionate as our gold standard TRT. Now, would we always choose cypionate over, say, enanthate or Nebido? Yes, but enanthate, testosterone enanthate and cypionate are practically interchangeable from a half-life perspective. The only real difference is the solvent and the preservative. So, testosterone cypionate is better tolerated sub-Q because it's less irritative and it absorbs better. So sub-Q is less painful and it creates less conversion of testosterone to estradiol. Now, the bros will say you get less bang for your bucks because if you inject, 12.5 milligrams of Test-Cyp into the subcutaneous tissue, you will get typically a lower testosterone compared to if you injected 12.5 milligrams of Test-Cyp intramuscularly. Now, does that matter? No, that's not the point. The point is to carefully titrate your dose according to effect to get you healthy hormone levels. We don't want massive peaks and troughs. We want stable levels that mimic physiology. That's the goal of TRT. So yeah, first choice is testosterone cypionate. If you're lucky enough to be prescribed testosterone under the NHS, yep, enanthate's available. As I said before, it's not as well tolerated, so sometimes people do switch back to cypionate. What else can be prescribed? Well, we have a few people on Undeconate. Now, Nebido, testosterone Undeconate, is actually used sometimes by clinic. Why is it used? Because it's an absurd drug. It has a half-life of 90 days, which means you're not going to reach a stable state, which is 5 half-lives, until 450 days. Crazy. And then what are you going to do? You're going to have to adjust your protocol if you get side effects, and that's going to take months to get stable again. It's absurd. Well, it would be absurd if you used it how the NHS used it. An injection, a loading dose at 6 weeks, and then an injection at 12 weeks, and then adjusting the dose accordingly to a response. But no, yeah, what do? Well, we microdose testosterone Undeconate. And who do we use that in? We use that in guys with super low SHBG. Now, as we've spoken about before, SHBG is a buffer. It helps maintain the ratios of testosterone to estradiol to DHT. It helps to transfer testosterone into the cell. It's a wonderful glycoprotein produced by the liver. So we want a nice healthy SHBG. We don't want a lower SHBG. So in these guys with stubborn low SHBGs, they've looked at their metabolic health. They've looked at their thyroid. They've done all they can to raise it, and disappointingly they can't. And some of these guys need Nebido. And what they need is a weekly dose. Now, this weekly dose leads to stable levels, and you're not going to metabolize the testosterone too quickly. You're going to have stable levels. And as we've said before, you can actually paradoxically be too stable. So what's it all about? It's all about achieving stable levels for you, the individual. Now, there are other options out there. Sustanon, Pet Hate, 4 Esters. We've spoken about that before. The disappointment of the prop, the wonder of the prop. And again, the reason why we can't use prop is the Tmax is too quick, which means that essentially you get a big peak, which feels great temporarily, big dopamine hit, then subsequent drop. And again, we're not wanting these massive peaks and troughs. We're wanting a peak and trough that's going to mimic physiology. And the reason why cypionate and enanthate are best is because obviously the testosterone preparation has to go to the liver to have the carbon atoms cleaved, which means that takes time. And then it gets bound to SHBG. So it's as close as damn it mimicking natural physiology. So again, the premise is to get you healthy hormone levels. And we're obsessed by numbers, aren't we? Now, my lizard brain still wants me to be high normal. But whenever my levels get to high normal, how do I feel? well, actually my libido drops. I don't really want that. But in the gym, listen, you're not going to get any additional anabolic effect from an extra 5-10 nanomole per litre. So it's absurd. So what's it all about? It's about balance, baby. So when we think about numbers get a little bit complicated because you'll know the reference range. Now, if we go by the Society for Endocrinology, we'll have the current reference range. And as we've spoken about before, that reflects a sick population because reference ranges are lowering. And that's obviously nonsensical. We can't think that that's a healthy population with unprecedented levels of preventable diseases, obesity, etc., infertility. We are living in a sick society, so we can't gauge a healthy population on the current reference range. So we utilize the BSSM, the British Society for Sexual Medicine guidelines. Now these are again pretty outdated, and again they don't take age into consideration. And should you take age into consideration? No, because healthy hormone levels are healthy hormone levels. There's no biological advantage in accepting a lower testosterone level, but it is what it is if you go by that. So 12 to 30. Now we measure levels in a peak. So why do we measure levels in a peak? We measure levels in a peak to see how effective the HPG axis has been overnight in producing testosterone before things like food, stress, and exercise negatively impact your testosterone. When I say negatively impact your testosterone, that's not strictly true, is it? Because again, we're all going to be raging bulls, but what's it all about? It's all about balance. So there's a natural yin-yang process that goes on, and we need to go through those things in order to establish balance. And physiology is utterly fascinating. So obviously you produce this testosterone overnight, you're repairing from the day to prepare for the next day, and you get this nice high testosterone and then subsequent dopamine, and then you exercise and the testosterone drops and the dopamine drops. So you're hungry for dopamine and the reward is food. My God, it's fascinating, isn't it? So yeah, we're measuring in a peak, in a fasted state, to find out how effective your HPG axis is in producing testosterone. So naturally the goal would be to think, okay, well, we want to aim for levels that are similar to those levels. Well, that's fascinating, isn't it? Because obviously we measure in a trough when we're on TRT, because basic pharmacokinetics, pharmacology, we want to make sure that we want to find the minimum effective dose, not the maximum effective dose, because again, we're trying to minimize side effects. We want to see how effective your body is at metabolizing these drugs and the effect they're going to have. So are we looking at apples and oranges? Well, we are kind of, aren't we then? Because obviously we measure in a peak naturally and we measure in a trough on therapy. Now, does that mean we should be aiming for lower levels? No, obviously not. But it just means that things are a little bit more complicated than they first might appear. So, as I've said in previous videos, most people feel best between a free testosterone of 0.5 to 0.85. Total testosterone also gets a little bit complicated because of SHBG, but as a gauge, I'd say between 20 and 35. That's not everybody. And obviously on a certain group, lots of people have this androgen resistance, don't they? Yep. It's all cool, calm and collected. And that's the premise behind TRT, is to make you cool, calm and collected. Therapy will always be therapy at the mental health clinic. Have you tried this? Have you? Cookie cutter. It's a bizarre comment to make, but it's a relative cookie cutter approach at the men's health clinic. The starting place should be TSIP and HCG. Your dose should be adjusted according to effect. You should be working your butt off to make sure that you are a healthy human being and not think that testosterone is a cure for anything, just the foundation, and TRT is the catalyst. And then you should be adjusting things under the close supervision of your prescribing doctor. perhaps thinking about adding in Tadalafil. Perhaps you may need a carefully titrated dose of Exemestane. Oh yes, this breast cancer drug. It's the mechanism of action, guys, not the initial reason why the drug was produced. And if you understand pharmacology, physiology, you won't listen to the idiots on the internet. What else? Yeah, well, if you're lucky enough to get testosterone through the NHS, it might be Enanthate. If we really can't get you stable, and all these things like your sleep, your nutrition, your exercise are on point, yeah, there are a few guys that do very well with weekly doses of Nebido, but again, you can be too stable. So these guys on weekly doses of Nebido, they actually need the HCG because they're too stable. Because as I've said before, consciousness is the subjective appreciation of subtle changes in physiology. I did a video on Tadalafil the other day, and people were worried about tolerance. You're not going to get tolerance to Tadalafil, but what you are going to get is a stable drug level. And again, I've just said, consciousness is the subjective appreciation of subtle changes in physiology. Everything has to change. So some of these guys with relative low libidos, and again, libido is incredibly complicated, so don't think this is a fix. Stress, the list goes on. There's no fix. We have to have a holistic approach. But from a pharmacological perspective, some of my guys actually dose 10 milligrams of Tadalafil every other day to actually create that peak and trough. And they say that gives them a healthier libido versus the 5 milligrams daily, which is great from a pharmacokinetic perspective, but sometimes not optimal from a libido perspective. So again, they're having a drug effect, and we don't like drug effects. Do we like drug effects? If drug effects don't cause harm, then obviously we do like drug effects. But again, it's always acting in the best interest of the patient. And you must have an understanding of all of the ologies, pharmacology, physiology, biochemical, no, that's not right. Biochemistry. I'm just joking, guys. So yeah, understanding that things are incredibly complicated to make your lives incredibly simple. Go earn your reward.